G'day tubers and groovers, welcome to this edition of Take the Field with me, Jason Bangers.
And me, Mr. Chumley Warner.
Today we're going to just do something very simple with the 505. That is the Boss RC505. It's a looping thing, right? Everyone knows what it is, everyone knows what it does. But there's a couple of things that I was a bit unsure of when I was looking into it. And by the way, this video goes out a guy I bought this of. Alright, Andy, thanks to you, brother. Thank you very much. And thanks for all your kind messages, eh? He's been very...
He's a top man.
Very supportive chap. I noticed, Simon, that you have to put the amount of beats into this thing, the amount of measures you want to record.
Oh,
and
okay.
I thought, well, if I write a song on it, does that mean I've got to pre-write the song and then count how many bars there is and then tell this channel I'm recording on to be that many bars long? That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I thought, that's bloody awkward. And then I simply found out that there's an automatic setting on here. You probably already know, but then there might be some of you who's doing what I was thinking of doing, counting all the bars. You don't have to do that. You put it in automatic mode, and what it does is it just records until you stop, and you can set all your tracks to do that. So that was one thing I was unsure about. The other thing I couldn't figure out was the undo and redo.
Oh, okay.
It really confused the hell out of me. So what I discovered with it, having tried, where I'd done like 4 samples on one track, and I tried to delete 2, the last 2, and I couldn't, because every time I'd undone one layer and then I wanted to undo the next layer, the only other option was to redo. So all I'm telling you is that once you've done several layers on one track, if you want to undo it, you can only undo the last layer that you did, because the next time you go into the undo redo thing, it will come up with redo, and that's your only other option, is to bring back what you've just deleted. You can't go any deeper than that. Now if anyone knows how to, then let us know. But to show you how easy it is to work though, might as well just do a little boom da boom dow dow boom da boom dow dow. Now hopefully that's come out alright. Da boom dow dow boom. Now I'm going to put some hi-hat over the top. Da boom dow dow. Right, so we've got hi-hat at the top. Now, the trick is to hit the stop button every time. Otherwise, the minute you tap that button again, it goes into record overlay. And that's where problems can occur. Okay, so there's the hi-hatty thing on top. Now I'm going to hit undo, redo. I'm going to hit this button. It's going to undo. Turn this off. Hit this button, and there shouldn't be any hi-hat on there now. Now my point is, I cannot undo the because if I go back into undo redo and hit this button, now what it's done is put me hi-hats back. That was it. 2 simple things that should have been really easy to show you, and they wasn't, so it shows it quite tricky. So
it's a learning process with that one, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to be careful not to add another track of emptiness.
Yeah. We've watched Dr. Mix and he makes it look so easy. I guess he's been at it for ages.
Yeah, he certainly has.
So when do you reckon it came out? And I'll give you a clue, it's been out longer than I thought.
Well, it's got to be 2016.
You're not far out, 2012.
Okay.
So it's actually 10 years old.
Yeah.
Or just over 10 years old now.
Yeah, and then we know there's a Mark II, but...
And just the Mark II came out in 2022.
Okay.
So it came out 10 years after the Mark I here, just out of interest.
Yeah.
So what is it? It gives you 5, as you can see here, 5 simultaneous, that's difficult to say, stereo phrase tracks. So
simultaneous. If you say it like Simon, it's easy to say simultaneous.
Yeah. And obviously, like Joe was saying about, you got input effects, you got track effects, you got 99 phrase memories, or you can store 99 of your sample loops if you want to call them that. You got 85 onboard rhythms. You got external controls. I didn't realise they had it in the back there. So you can control stuff via MIDI, foot switches,
Yep.
expression pedals.
Yep.
Another thing I didn't realise, you got the USB.
It's an interface, yeah.
Yeah, so you can import and export, and as Jay says, integrate it with your DAW. As we're using at the moment, you've got XLR mic input, and you've got mono stereo instrument inputs, and you've also got a stereo auxiliary input apparently. Now, this is quite interesting because I didn't know how much these were originally. Do you know how much they were when they first came out?
I thought they was about 500.
Yeah, pretty much. They were 529 in the UK.
And they're holding their money well second hand, I'll tell you that.
Considering they're now 10 years old, on eBay, I won't ask Jay because it's roughly what he paid for this one. They seem to go for 270, 300.
300.
Yeah. And just out of interest, the new Mark II, obviously you can buy it new at the moment. It goes from like £421 to $450.
You might say, wouldn't I just buy a brand new Mark II? I don't like them.
And what was the thing you discovered on YouTube?
I can't remember, but a guy done the same recording on Mark II and this one, and the Mark II sounded crap.
Yeah, it didn't sound so good, did it? And there's some kind of syncing problem, we can't remember.
Oh, yeah. With the Mark II, you have to abide by the clock. So, in other words, with this thing, the second you hit record, unless you've got your pre-count on, if you haven't got the pre-count on, the second you hit record and the second you stop recording, it starts and stops exactly as and when. But when the pre-count is on, you have to wait for it to count you in. And that's pretty much what the other one does, but without the counting. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
It will not let you just like interrupt and record where you want to and put like bits in here and there. You'd have to start recording from the beginning, and if you want to put a bit in the middle, you'd have to let it run and then put it in the middle, rather than just get there and just do it. It's weird. It's like you've got to follow the clock on it. It's a bit like our synthesizers that only but if you can play the notes in between and get nothing.
So I think what it is, if you've already owned a Mark 1, it's almost kind of like a new learning process to get the Mark II to do what you want.
I think what it is like with a tape machine or any recorder, the second you hit record, it records. But this one, the Mark II, will only record on the beginning of every beat, or on. I think that's what I understand. You get what I mean. You can't come in sort of like 2 beats afterwards or something. Right. I think that's what this chap was explaining. So, yeah, if that's been a problem for you guys, let us know.
Yeah, do a bit of research. There's lots of good videos out there. So before you buy a Mark 1 or a Mark II, decide which one is right for you and your workflow. I think that's the main thing.
Dr. Synth loves his Mark II, and he's used the Mark 1 for a long time. So maybe the chap we saw just didn't have the settings right. I don't know.
Answers in the comments.
But what I do know is these are holding their value more than the Mark IIs are, even though they're new. I mean, these are almost as much to buy second hand as a Mark II is to buy brand new. So that's got to tell you something, hasn't it?
Yeah, normally the first iteration of a product is always very well done.
Yeah, other than that, it's a bit of a mystery. I actually come out here to demonstrate that to you, not really knowing what the hell I was doing, so I haven't had time to play with it yet, so sorry about that, Andy. I will get my head around it, although I kind of, it's pretty hands-on, you know. Another thing you got to remember is if you're going into robot on your effects, or you're going into pitch and tune, you've got to remember it's not going to do on its own. It's not automative. Is that the right word? It doesn't automate. What you got to do is if you put it in D tune, you got to sing through it, and you got to turn the knob in real time to get it to D tune. If you're an idiot like me and you go 1, 2, 3, 4 and it ain't tuning,
so it doesn't follow your pitch unless you turn the knob. I see.
Yeah. It's totally mechanical.
Yeah.
So a lot of the effects on here. I think the bass is chromatic.
Right,
it will
okay.
follow your tone, you know, and then you can actually take your voice out and just have the synth bass on there.
Cool.
Also, the synthesizer on there and all the rest of it. But it's a great listen. Awesome bit of kit. It looks sexy, doesn't it? It's got nice lights. You see it when it switches on. It looks good. Let's see what it looks like when we switch it off. And a nice thud. We always get a thud.
Do like a thud.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a very dodgy video from Take the Fear Out of the Gear. We hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully some of you got that issue and now you understand what to do.
Sounds perfect.
Brilliant. I have been Jason Bangers.
And I've been Mr. Chumley Warner.
Please subscribe if you can.
Like, tell all your friends, share it around.
Yeah, hit that bell, the usual old
hit it.
baloney.
Yes.
We'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care. Ciao for now. Bye bye.